All right. What you believe is what you will always perceive. Okay? So, like, if you're going through your life and you're like, man, I'm kind of lacking because I don't have this thing or that thing or the other thing, that's because you believe you need that to be happy. And you're like, no, I don't want to believe that about myself, but it's so hard not to believe that. Now, then you have to ask yourself, like, what would I have to believe about myself to allow my happiness to be conditional on these elements that I don't even have in my life? So, like, today I had this conversation with this person that I had a brief interaction with when I was in college, and, I was really interested in them at the time. However, I was pretty convinced that they were being elusive towards me. Like, they didn't really want to be fully genuine with me, and I thought it was a shame. Like, I really enjoyed that person's company, and I liked what they talked to me about, and I liked what we could be, but it never really worked out. And I tried several times over the years, and it still didn't work out. And I just thought that they were being elusive with me. And then today, I'm talking to this person, and I'm just being absolutely candid. And I'm like, hey, like, I always wish that this had worked out, but, like, now I'm in a different place, and that's the only reason I'm talking about this with them. I was like, I wish this had worked out, and I think it would have went really well, but, it is what it is. And why were you so elusive with me? And they were like, what do you mean? What do you mean elusive? And then we talk a little bit more, and then I get around to being like, okay, they don't think they're being elusive, and I thought they were. And that alone is what stopped us from having a really genuine connection. It was just that I had perceived it one way when it was another way. And for them, they had perceived it incorrectly on their end as well. And they thought I wasn't interested in them at all. So you could say, like, oh, this is like just a communication error. But what I would say is that this is clearly an issue of perception. It was what I believed about this person, and what I believed about myself was that I believed this person was being elusive, and I also believed that because of that, that means that they didn't find me interesting enough, or I was amusing to them rather than someone who was worth their time. And then for them, they just assumed that I wasn't interested, probably because they had their own perception of the situation. They thought that I had some conditions that they didn't meet. So that's an example in like a relationship, but I also think that this whole perception dictating your reality applies to everything. Like, these birds sound amazing. Like, I know you've been hearing them this whole time, but these birds sound amazing. And if I woke up, this is an example I gave in a different video, but if I woke up to the sound of birdsong, I could experience that in two different ways. I could experience it as, wow, that's really beautiful. The first thing I heard was birdsong, and that's just something to be grateful for. But then the other side of it is, oh, I got woken up by birdsong. Like, these things that I have no control over, and now it's like, it's ruining my day. Like, my sleep is not as great as great as it could be. So perception seems to dictate reality. It also applies to looking for opportunities in your life, and that could be relationships, like I said. Could be, I don't know, I guess pretty much everything that you could be grateful for. Man. Everything you could be grateful for, or everything that you could dislike. It's all just a matter of perception. And like especially when you think about the future and you're like, oh, well, like, I have so many things in front of me, or I have all these things I have to deal with in front of me. And then you encounter these people, well, like, honestly, I'd argue that the modern man's toolkit is built in, has some cynicism built in, where it's like, what you do doesn't matter, so just try to get by. Rather than what you do doesn't matter, so you can do anything. You can do anything that you want. So yeah, kind of a shorter one today, but I love you. I appreciate you. Take care out there, okay?